Welcome back to another M&S tutoring video, and today we'll be beginning our second unit in grade 9 math, linear relations. Well, this whole unit in grade 9 math really revolves around the equation of a line. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you what an equation of a line really is and how the equation, a simple math equation, really portrays a line on the graph. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So as you can see right now, we have a graph with the y-axis going from the top to the bottom, and the x-axis going sideways from left to right. And in the middle we have a line, a dotted line. And some of you may notice, well, hopefully most of you, that this line is straight. So since some of you don't know, this is the general equation of a line. General equation of a line basically represents any line if you sub in values for m and b, right? Some of you may be asking what m and b are, but stick with me and we'll be getting into that really shortly. But first, I'm going to show you how this equation really portrays a line on the graph. Well, some of you may be asking that what are m and b? So first of all, let me clarify it. M is known as the slope of a line. The slope of a line is basically how steep or how narrow the line really is, and b is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is basically when this line intercepts the y-axis over here. So when this line intercepts the y-axis over here. So some of you may notice that it intercepts the y-axis clearly at the origin, which is 0 and 0. So all you have to do to get the y-intercept is look at the line and take the y-coordinate of when it intercepts. So in this case it's 0, and you can easily say that the y-intercept, which is b, is equal to 0, right? So that's the y-intercept. So now what is slope? Well, slope is basically, as I said before, is how steep the line is. But what does that really mean? So that basically means is if you have a point on the graph, like right here, on the line right here, and you have another point, let's say over here, slope basically means how much this line ran. So this is run, and this is rise, right? So this is basically how you determine the slope of a line. It's a simple equation in which you basically do rise over run, right? And that's the slope, right? And what that basically means is from this point, how much do you have to run, like to the right or to the left, whatever it is, how much do you have to run? So in this case, we'll say it's 5, so you ran 5, and how much you had to rise, in this case you also rise 5, right? And to get to the other point, so you could say that 5 over 5 is equal to the slope, right? Or 1 is equal to the slope, right? So now that you know what the slope and the y-intercept is in a line, I'm going to show you how a line can be described using an equation. So say for example you have a simple equation which is y is equal to 2x plus 2, right? This is the equation right here. Now since we know that the slope is 2, we can say that the rise over run has to be something that gets you an answer of 2, right? So some of you right off the bat will be like, well, the rise has to be 2 and the run has to be 1, right? And using that, you can start mapping the different 2 points on the map as 2 over 1, which is 2 rise, and 1 run is equal to 2. Well, using this, you can start mapping the different points on the map. But how do you know where to start the point? Well, the y-intercepts gives you a clear understanding of where to actually plot the point. Since we know that the y-intercept is plus 2, we can quite easily say that plus 2, or the coordinate of 0 and 2, is on the line. So if this is the origin, which is 0, 0, if you rise 2 from there, so let's say 1 and 2, right about here, right? We can say that this point is on the graph. Now that we have the rise and run as well, we can easily just run 1 and rise 2, just like this, to get the other point on the graph. And we can continue doing this an actual infinite amount of times until we model this line over here. And we can also go down as well. So we can do this and this. So right here, 1, 2, and 1. So right here, 1, 2, and 1. So right here, and 1, 2, and 1. So right here. And we can really draw a line through all of these points. Forgive me, my line is not going to be straight. What was that? That was horrendous. Hold on just a second. So we can draw a line connecting all of these points, right? It's not straight, of course, because my graph's not actually on the grid itself, but if you were to draw it, it'd be really straight and, of course, straight, and it would portray the rise over run and also agree with the y-intercept. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a clear understanding of the basis of this unit. If you don't, please feel free to leave any comments asking me to clarify anything that you didn't understand or you'd like me to explain again in another video, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for watching, guys, and drop a thumbs up.